Well, 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 well. I mean, I think you all knew this video was coming. I've talked about it for a minute, but obviously because there's just so much to go over, I haven't managed to get anything done till now. But as you all know, on this person, I've uploaded one video. Then I did another. Then the third, to finish the trilogy. Even a little bit of them in the tie-up video last September. But I don't think anything has done the justice of the full story. Not just what was in those 3 videos, which is not even all of it at this point. But I want to sum it up and really take a dive into who we're dealing with, who we dealt with. Somewhat still dealing with, but mostly dealt with. Because there's a lot of interesting stuff under the surface. There is. I mean, not really if you can see it, but otherwise, under the surface. So, a few things I'm going to point out. This is the last video like this I will make. It is a long video, but it is the last one I'm going to make like this, so please do not ever expect me to do something like this again, unless very rare circumstances. Second of all, I know he might try and strike it. There will be nothing he can strike in this video. Okay? there will. I think if there's really anything else that's, like, standing out. If you are wondering, there's 800 plus pieces of evidence, screenshots, other stuff I have, all of that will be used to help me go through this whole... I have it all... I mean, it is in days, so I don't have to worry about that, but... most of this is going to be on a timeline. Sometimes there's jump backs and hints to what I'll talk about later. But, yeah, that will kind of be the format. I will put this stuff on the screen when I feel like it. There's probably going to be 100 to 200 things that pop up on the screen. So just be ready to see that, okay? There's going to be a lot. So, stick with me. It is long, but if you want the full picture, this is why this video is here. So, I guess we can go back to the start. Because this goes from May, June last year to now. Because there are stuff, and there is stuff, that is very interesting. So, if you're kind of wondering why that first video came out, I guess the start, in a sense. You know, from, like, May, early June, a few months before that, Sunset, for at least a few months at that point, he has been very inactive at that point. Said he had mental issues, quotes. It wasn't really on much, didn't really upload anything, didn't really stream, you know. Like, actually inactive. And then, you know, for the most part, over the time I've known him, since 2022, I hadn't seen anything too odd that made me jump or made me really want to, like, see who this is. But there was one little thing that kind of caught my eye a little bit. To put this in quotations, he had a membership milestone for one of the W community streamers, as I'm going to reference. I'm not going to name a lot of people by name in this video, for the most part. Some people will, some people won't, just because I'm not trying to bring them, you know. You can probably just understand who I'm talking about. But, pretty much, he left a membership milestone saying, put something in the chat. The streamer read it, the streamer did their job. What did he do, though? And what did the chat do? Chat didn't really say anything, or do what he asked. What did he do? He messaged somebody named Jimmy John's Pizza. Important figure in this story. There will be some important figures in this story. And he wasn't so happy. He was saying some stuff. I see how it is. Hold on, let me pull it up. I see how everyone be ignoring me. I see how it is. Don't worry. I see it, bro. Don't worry. Been a while now. Very paranoid acting. Thinking something was up. So, after seeing that and hearing about it, I kind of wanted to look back a little bit. See what we're working with here. If there's anything that's really stand out from what's happened since I've known. And there was some things when I look back. There was the New Year's stream last year that he did with Booger Bears, where after the stream he proceeded to message her saying, "Look at all the simps in your chat. They're all simping over you." And that's because she had more viewers during that. And the way he worded it was just not normal. It's not really how you respond to somebody you just did a collab stream with, where you should just be all happy. But that wasn't the case. Another instance. Somebody was asking his best friend, who in this story we will call him T. They were asking T when he was going to stream. And Zaxxon was talking about, "It's my day to stream. What the fuck are you talking about?" Or, you know. Why do you want him to go live? When somebody was just asking, it's never just somebody's day to stream. Never. I stream a lot. And people stream when I stream, and I stream when people stream. That shouldn't be an issue. Unless you're, like, clearly trying to stream over them nonstop, 24/7, 365, it shouldn't be an issue. So, little odd. There was also some instances when he first got to Xbox. And if you don't know how the Xbox GTA spectrum is, it's not like PlayStation where there are dirty people, but there's a lot of noobs. There's, of course, people who aren't as good on there, but there's also people that, like, just play out of their mind dirty, just nonstop. So a lot of people that I do know on there are used to that. They're used to using those same tactics back and doing better than them with those tactics. That's just how it is. Because you either really, at that point, just don't fight, or you do their tactics better than they do it. And somebody doing, in that shit, because that's just how it is over there, accidentally killed him. He had a whole freak out. I have the clip of it, but I'm not going to play it due to the respect for Mr. T. And, you'll see why. But, also, I think, one more instance, I guess, that I can think of. He messaged, or somebody had called his job ass. He proceeded to message them, "What is wrong? What's up, bro? You got an issue, bro? I don't want any negative vibes in the community. I'm already down, bro." And then the guy sent him, "I just think your job is one-sided." Because if you don't know Zaxxon, I guess to sum this up, he used to do a lot of giveaways. He used to make a lot of jobs and play them on stream. Pretty much like half of his stream, anyway. Where's his stand your grounds? And, yeah. So, obviously, he was like, then he was trying to act nice. Just to sum it up. Now, there's also another factor to this that I haven't said yet. And I think most of y'all already know what it is. He has been known to subbot, okay? Now, at that time, we knew he already did that stuff. We already have seen some very suspicious activity, and then also his, engagement on his channel, his subs, views, likes, and all that stuff, being a little interesting. And if you want me to explain this, just for the understanding, if you don't understand what botting is, it's just artificial engagement on somebody's channel. It pretty much just inflates the actual engagement you have and makes it look better than it is. Now, this does have a lot of effects on your channel. As for, it leaves a lot of dead subs, as I will call them. And I'll explain them when we get to it later. But it does really hurt somebody's channel. But obviously, for somebody who might have their channel struggling and they want to make it still look good, they might resort to that. I don't know why Zaxxon started in the first place, but he did. But he would have these Filipino accounts who are in a huge sub-botting community. Their code, like, because obviously you say sub-botting in the title, or like sub for sub, you're gonna get banned. They had a thing called bananas, which is just, and they would do giveaways for them, or if you donate, you get some. And that's pretty much the main way that he used to do it. And we knew he did it, but we looked into it a little bit further to make sure, it was just himself. And what we found was that a lot of the people he quote-unquote said he was going to help them grow their channel or get them monetized, he had botted. Now, here's the thing though. They didn't ask to be botted. If any of you were wondering, nobody asked to be botted. He told everybody that these were like a legitimate subs, just kind people. I think even at one point, he explained it as like a legit website where people sign up to sub to each other and all that stuff. That just sounds like rainbows, sunshines, unicorns. You get the gist. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. But we found out he did this to a lot of people who didn't ask for that. They asked for, like, actual subs and actual people that might, actually do stuff for their channel instead of slightly inflate it and pretty much just leave it hanging. So, after I found out about that through the digging, I wanted to make a little video about it. Because obviously that's probably the best way to get it out with the evidence. And, But I bundled it as a trolling video using a spare thumbnail from my trolling trilogy and rebranded it. The intro was a fade into it, and then it just goes straight into calling him out with all the weird stuff he's done, like, how he's kind of treated others. It's not great. You don't treat your quote-unquote friends like that. I don't think you do. For somebody that's a quote-unquote nice guy. So, I put that together. I even actually get him to promote it. I go through all the stuff I've talked to him, all the other stuff I've gotten. And then there was also the instance, actually right before that, from me, where I was doing a friendly 1v1 dogfight with Y7, who is a very important figure in this video also. So there was an instance where I was friendly dogfighting Y7, as I said, a very important figure. And they've had some back and forth before. As I said, the Xbox thing was something, and then there's some other stuff. But, pretty much, Zaxxon comes into my stream, and he starts going off, like, is he using a Cronus? Because I think I can see one when I can tell when I see one. And he kind of just starts going, like, insane about it, even though he's not there. It's a friendly dogfight. I don't even care. And wonder why it so matters so much. And, by the way, for reference, this guy said it takes, like, he was talking so much shit saying only losers use it. He also was saying that it takes skill to use it. And is also he was in, I don't even know if he's still in it, because how would I fucking know at this point? He actually was found out to be in a Cronus script server. So, interesting. But yeah, I compile all that. I get the video ready. I even get him to promote it. And it's looking good. It's looking good. So, I get everything ready. That's not the easiest. But I get it all ready. And boom. It premieres. Now, I can't actually show you some of the shit from the premiere because I don't actually have it anymore. And because I unlisted the video, you also can't really see it. It's not, But let's just say a lot happened after that video. He went full ballistic. And obviously there were some people with mixed reactions because he did promote it. So even his own people got to see it for the most part. Obviously people on my side believe in me. People on his side, of course, that's kind of what happens with everything. And then, just a lot of stuff to follow. I guess to start with, what he did after, he started sending me a lot of private messages on multiple platforms. talking about when he convinced me to do what he was doing, telling me it was legitimate. It was not. And as I said, he manipulated me to do that, telling me it was all legit and it's all, you know. But obviously that kind of, he wasn't so happy about it, you know. Now obviously I stopped doing it once, you know, I kind of realized, and I did not want to fucking do that shit, because I actually want to have a legitimate channel. And thank God YouTube took them away, so thank you, YouTube. But, pretty much then he starts saying that he stopped bothering with everyone, he has backups, I'm silly, hope I'm ready for the upload, 17-year-old fucking worm, my son has more brains than you. I fucking wish. Then he starts telling me that it's a weird group of people used to do it. Starts actually naming some of the main people that I used to see in his stuff, that he would be in their stuff. And he said he kept away from them a long time ago, and that actually got disproven because they were in his comments still, and still in his stuff, after the fact. So he never actually stopped, and he actually was still doing it way after he said he stopped. So, like, yeah, that was just, you know. He says the last thing he tries to do is subbot, which he still did. And then said, who am I to humiliate him? And then he sends me more stuff about people asking, which he told them it was legit. Told them that it wasn't fake and all that. So then I send him a few things showing that, you know, don't lie to me like that. Then he's like, I upload 2 videos a month. I don't know what that's supposed to mean in the argument. What does that prove? You're a silly little child. He says, I have a big ego. Which, that's going to be a little interesting to talk about a little bit, ironically. He's going to drop a video soon. And says he's going to pull up all the stuff of me being there from what he told me, of all of it being legitimate and all that. And trust me, that did not work well for him. He said it's cringe. And then saying that none of them come to his channel. And I'd still seen them around at that time. He's saying I'm kicking him down while he's kicking him while he's down. He said he was already going to quit YouTube anyways, because I'm a no-life. Said it wasn't fun anymore. And then tries to be nice at the end. And then I was telling him that he, you know, if that's true, just hide all the subbot people. And then he puts out a community post. And I will say, here's the pattern with this. He does put out a lot of stuff that he will put out and then delete. Just to make it clear. So, he puts a community post out saying he doesn't have to prove anything in my video. He says subbotting is cringe, stopped a long time ago, again. Says something, not something I do, don't lie. Been off of real time and because of real life stuff and countering no lives daily, issues outside of YouTube, saying I'm kicking him down again. You'll see what that actually is. Saying that I hang around a whole group of God mode glitch people. Said he knew it was going to happen. Narcissism. That's what people try to do and use the past against you. Not even just the past, the present and the future will be against you too. But, like, a lot of this stuff acting like he's the all-seeing, he's all-wise, that he sees us coming. And you'll see what I mean by that. The God complex part of this. And the victim mentality for saying that, you know, anybody that's against him is kicking him while he's down. Then telling about when he manipulated me to do it, what he was doing, telling me it was legit. Doesn't want to say it's manipulating, he just tells me I did the same shit like him, so I have no room to speak in his sense. He says it's over a year old. Nah. Take sides, please comment, because he wants to weed them all out. Real ones will stick around. That's why he will never quit YouTube, even though he just said he was quit. There's a lot of stuff he says and then doesn't say. And he mixes his story up a lot. I can't stand bullies. Bullies is going to be a very important word that he keeps repeating over and over, and you'll see why. Then tells me to touch grass before bringing down someone who has nothing but a heart of gold. The narcissism. The godlike. I don't do anything wrong. I am perfect. All of that. Why not admitting to what you did wrong, but trying to act like I'm too perfect to do that. I'm too good to do that. I'm too kind to do that. So how could I do that? Then he sends me a DM, like, complete opposite of that. Who the fuck do you think you are? Ugly ass little gay boy. I'm sorry. There is a few things that will make me laugh. That is one of them. Calls me a cheeky bastard and my internet bully. People will hate me for this. The bullies will love me. The real ones know him anyways. I'm a worm. Told me to block him and touch grass. I already touched grass. He says he knows who put me down to it. I did this all on my own accord with collaborative effort. But I was the one who did it. Trying to act like other people were this happened before with Warfare. Thinking that other people are using me. Or I'm using other people to speak. I talk for myself. Just to make that clear. My opinions shaped by what I see in evidence. He says he has 4 gigabytes of screenshots to back all his stuff up. He has his own community, doesn't need to fend off people like that, and then tries to end off with a nice note. Again, after I don't know how you can start. He really taking. It's not about how you start; it's about how you finish to a new level. He says I'm putting someone down who has IRL shit going on that I'm too immature to understand. Yeah, mature enough to find the real answer to that. Who the fuck are you? Internet troll. And if you hear me take water, I need it. I'm talking way too much. I'm gonna reach my fucking talking limit for the month. Then, of course I clap back a little bit. Then he's telling me using his voice is not allowed. And saying that he's monetized also, so he can remove it. I'm depressed IRL. He's gonna say that a lot. And he has big problems. And then I'm trying to publicize stuff about him. Very bad move. By the way, with the video part, first of all, it was from T-Stream, not him. Second of all, fair use exists. Good luck with that. And then, says apologies, I botted nothing. Even though admitting that he used to bot. People who asked for help, I helped out. Not with bots. You'll see what I mean when we get to them in the second video. You're a hypocrite for real. And then, I have more evidence. The same, what I was talking about earlier, the big network where people sign up and sub to each other. Then he also said in this, one thing I don't do is get myself them. Once I hit 1K, everything is my own doing. I just enjoy helping people. And no one knows this, only you. And he didn't send this to me, this was to somebody else. Acting like it's a whole resource, like he found a whole ass money glitch IRL. Then he starts messaging other people. Bro, everyone knew it was wrong, obviously, but I don't get how I'm made to be a monster. There's so much I could prove, but not the energy for it. Too many trolls in the community. He only had nice intentions, helping everyone from the goodness of my heart. Everyone bowing down to some stupid-ass little kid. Again, I'm too perfect to do anything wrong. I only had good intentions, which, you know, if you knew the truth, which I know you did with how that does for your channel, which is why you gotta continually bot now, because otherwise you'll look dead as a channel. So, but the God complex. Acting like I'm too good to do anything and I'm better than all of you. And then the victim mentality. Like, he has a mix of it. I don't even know what to call it, but I'd probably just call it the Saxon mentality because it's actually just annoying. He just doesn't want to take accountability. And obviously he said, he said this to Jimmy. And, you know, like, most of the people he sends this stuff to, they don't fall for the bullshit. They're not fucking stupid. They understand that he's trying to flip the script and make them look bad. And make them feel bad, guilt trip them, into being on his side. Then he says he's not blaming anyone. He says, but Boogers even says it here. She knows how and thanks me for it. Says, I'm stupid because I air all my proof. Or when he airs his proof, it's going to get fucking insane. Then saying, again, I donated to her and did all the same shit he did. Even though he manipulated me to do it. And then he sensed a lot of bullying come from Discords for ages. Saying, I don't go outside. And all his action ever was a G. Let the haters hate. All fake as fuck. I had accounts so many YouTubers, crews, and shit. The content I have with some of y'all in God mode and shit is unbelievable. I'm literally so glad I kept that shit. By the way, at that time, there was like 3 people on PlayStation that used God mode. Kid you not? He's saying people ruin his content by their playstyles. Then he messaged Boogers. I'm not a horrible person, but everyone knew. I had a nice heart to help people. I had so bad depression. I still don't... They're laughing in the background. I'm so sorry if y'all can hear that. He says he still doesn't hate anybody, but he says, what the fuck am I doing? And then, Boogers was talking about, thanks for helping me reach my goal, or, I guess what he said. Thanks for, me telling you, thanks for helping me reach my goal, but I don't know what you were doing. And then Booger said, you sent that screenshot of me telling you, thanks for helping me reach my goal, but I didn't know how or what you were doing. I even asked Nitrix why I had low viewers on stream, but all these subs. And I told him, you helped get subs through that 8th grade channel. He told me to not go that route, and just stay away from all that, because it could kill my channel and viewers. But then I started to find out it was bots the sub never knew about. And then she was confronting him about the simp shit. Which, shout out to Nitrix for being a G about that. I'm not gonna lie, I never even knew about it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of reading through a lot of this for a minute, so I do forget / didn't even know some of this shit, so he already know. Y'all messaging asking, this is actually talking to Jimmy. Y'all been messaging asking to help people. Doesn't make sense how now everyone turns on me kicking me while I'm down. And then, you know, he didn't want to ask or answer the question about pay for subs. Who said pay for subs? Don't try to make shit up. I'm no fucking idiot. There comes say all this to his face. I literally made you watch my whole ass premiere to trick you and your viewers into watching that shit in front of your face. That is the closest I can get without having to go to the UK. And I don't want to ever go there. I'm just going to be honest with you. And also, again, the victim mentality, kicking him while he's down. You'll see that actually isn't a true thing. And then he says, Amprey has caused the biggest war in YouTube history. Which, alright, let's keep this on a real note right now. I am not large. I'm kind of known in the GTA community. I'm not large. He isn't known for shit either. Wouldn't even be close to like the top 10,000 words on YouTube. And then I guess he sends this for somebody else. I'm trying to like keep this, you know. Evidence is a little bit hard to string at the same time. Bro, subvoting is by far disgusting and not acceptable. You know, he used to do it. And keeps trying to lie and then not lie about it. The screenshots for when I was at 1.06k subs, some random started helping from me donating. He willingly went to their stream. Nobody told him to do this or forced him, by the way, like he did everybody else. He literally and donated to them, and you'll see in a little bit. All this shit. And he knew it was wrong in ages. And then he says, I brought it to light. And then it keeps saying the same shit again. I don't need to explain to anyone. And then keep trying to end it off nice. At a certain point, it's gonna stop, and you're just not gonna see him do that shit again, because he's done actually. His character that he puts on, not the deeper alter ego that's his real character. The character he tries to put on, it's only so long before that shit starts melting off. And he even admits to knowing it damages people's channels and shit. So he actually ends up admitting that he knows it damages people's stuff. saying they randomly started doing it because he donated everyone, and that's just what he does, and he didn't want it in return. And then he starts bringing up some personal shit, because, you know, he gets too golf, you know, that Mr. Nice Guy shit peeling off, isn't it? And then he calls the community rotten, calls it cringe for being brought up now, and he says he has all proof that the community is rotten. And then, I'm the wisest guy on this planet when it comes to backing my shit up. Take care. And yeah, a lot do simp over you because you're female. Very cringe. Like, she can control that. Like, the fuck do you mean by that? I screenshot 5 people confirming it. Some are your friends, don't get me started. Said I started the biggest war in YouTube history. Yeah, that's funny as shit. But, do you see the wise guy shit? That is the God complex. I am the best. I am the wisest. That is not some shit a normal person is gonna say. And it's saying we need to touch grass, picking on someone when they're down. Again, the victim part. And then he just tries to convince boogers to, like, you know, listen to him and be with him, in some sense. You're a decent girl, but you're trapped within a toxic community mixed with legends and rodents. Don't know what that means. How do you say the nicest and worst thing at the same time? And then on his son's life, I seen shit different. There's a reason I ain't been streaming. The God complex. I see shit you can't see. Not like what I just said when I'm talking about the psychological part of this that I can see because I know how that shit works a little bit more. He's just saying he knows it in general because he just has a God, like, you know. I'm just that guy. And then Jimmy, back to what he was talking with Jimmy. He was already prepared for us to throw him out the community. He saw it coming. He said be prepared. He was always real with everyone. Screenshots and screen recordings will all prove who looks silly. I wonder. He was prepared for this because I'm wiser than you all think. Why I've been so quiet. I will always finish on top. It's just how I am and always will be, bro. Until the big Emperor, the bald-looking dude, destroyed you that summer. Take sides, do what you want, but I was always real with everyone. And then, you know, Jimmy confronts him on avoiding questions again. Because he wasn't answering shit. He was just in his own world. The narcissism, acting like, you guys are all doing this to me while I'm down. You wouldn't do this to me. You wouldn't say it to my face. All this shit about him. Instead of him actually taking accountability and apologizing, this is how he does. As a quote-unquote real man. So then he starts posting stuff about, like, the social blade shit of what he did it to me. Or, you know, convinced me, manipulated me. That shit. Now, after that video, not too long after, but after that video, some very sketchy things popped up. I started seeing these accounts that I'd never seen before. Not just people that were from his shit, but just that I've never seen before. And we'll read a little bit from this one. This one. Lemon Boys. Aren't you a kid who doesn't go outside? You have no right to speak about others unless you're perfect yourself. Nobody's perfect, so in that sense, he can't talk about me. I can't talk about him. No one's allowed to talk to anybody. Because that's just how life is. Cool. Are you trying to humiliate a good guy? Keep that one for later. Texan always been here helping everyone. I'm pretty sure you even said multiple times on your community post how happy you are with his help. Yeah, people were happy with his help before they found out it wasn't help. It was fucking, like, stabbing you. It's insane. Rip your channel. I will do all I can to strike any bad things you say in your videos. Because trust me, there's a lot. Karma's... By the way, I hadn't had a strike before that since, like, I think almost a year before that. And then also, still haven't gotten anything after it past, like, one privacy complaint that went nowhere. So... And, you know, it's oddly specific that this dude knows so much about it for somebody I've never seen before and has never been around. Then Zaxxon starts sending me more shit and, you know, just trying to get me to talk to him. And another tactic that he pulls from Warfare which I'm going to reference him. If I see him make a video about this shit, he best pray I don't find him online. But, you know, he probably is going to take it the wrong way. But he pulls the warfare strat of where I want to make sure you stay my friend. I'm going to donate to you and act like everything is still the same and appreciate you for being a real one. Real friends don't need to pay each other to understand that they're good friends. And trying to pay people, you know, it's just a really weird mental tactic. It's just trying to soften people up and make them fuck with you more. Because money makes the world go round, chat, doesn't it? And then, you know, he sends me an actual, like, paragraph. Pretty much asking me to remove the video. It's breaking YouTube's violation. Don't know what the fuck that means. It says partly false accusations. None of that was false in any way, shape, or form, but go off, Queen. Regardless of what went on, you have no rights whatsoever. Just crawl back in the little shell I came from. It will all backfire quicker than you know. I'm asking, remove the video. If you do or don't, it's your choice. And then he, again, admits to actually subbotting, saying it was wrong, and he stopped a while ago. But here's the thing. He says anybody that needs an apology needs to message him. For example, that's like saying I cut off all your limbs, you are now a pretty much immobile sack of flesh, and I say, you have to get over to me and ask me for an apology, and I'll probably give it to you. Who the fuck does that? And then saying, what rights do I have? Who am I? But then he says, contact the uploader first. Do what you want. He says, my channel's at risk. You're really smart about that. He has evidence to back up his shit again, saying that. So then he might say he might shame other people. And then, again, tries to end off nice. Like, he's trying to manipulate me again into, you know, being, I'm not falling for shit that he has to say. And then also, again, him being in other people's shit, saying he appreciates people. And then I see another comment from his alt. It didn't pop up originally because I had to turn on to newer comments. That's how you see any comment that was actually allowed to go through. And I'm going to read this one word for word because this one's a very important figure in the story. Dude, you're obsessed with a cool guy. Relax before your biggest target of the year. Easy IP address, though. You will get targeted every day of your life. From talking like you are Zaxxon, mannerisms like him, typing long paragraphs like him, the emojis, and saying that for a dude that hates booting, and for context, he did have a PC at this time. Interesting. And he says another thing in Discord to me, keep uploading, I don't give a shit. Saying I'm only showing half of it, and then saying people aren't half-assed about my thing, and then are more asked about me trying to humiliate somebody who did nothing but help everyone. Another narcissistic, God complex, guilt-tripping move. And then he tells me to keep uploading other shit. Now, at this time, I actually let him know about that alt account, and he tries to act like it's not talking about him, he never knew about it, he doesn't know who that is. And the dude's acting like he knows Zaxxon by heart, so, like, we know it's fucking somebody. He knows where it's at. Pretty much tells himself to don't do that. And let me just read the replies. He replies to himself after he says to himself, stop getting involved. The Lemon Boys account, his alt, says, shut the fuck up to the guy you're defending. Quote, end quote. Like, and he's like, I'm still going to target bullies. It's what I do. Bring people down to the level they should be. And that's some shit Zaxxon would say, wouldn't it be? And I know it's not like you inspired him to say it, so I wonder where that came from. And, of course I reply. He's like, You did because someone called Y7 apparently, because we have your data, he's seeing your DMs and everything. Don't play with fire, kid, you will get burnt. I won't respond. And he does the emojis like Zaxxon would, which is like another dead giveaway. This is just his all talking shit. You're attention seeking, dude. You'll never look good making someone else look bad. You're even moderator for the Filipino. And by the way, they give everybody mod, so that means he's still mod too. That's how they do you go to their channel, and another thing with it, they also, you know, you go over there, the engagement, you, like, give somebody a view, like, sub, comment, and then you say you connected. That's what you do with each person in that shit. And he calls me a hypocrite, so that means he didn't watch the video. And now I want to explain why this is so bad that he did it to so many other people. If you're wondering what it does, when somebody subscribes to you, or, like, interacts with you, YouTube will pretty much, like, when you upload stuff, they'll send out stuff to them to see if they click back. And it's retention. Pretty much, when you, like, for example, imagine you had 100 subs, you get 200 botted. Your retention at highest is, because they don't talk after, like, those alts don't say shit after they're done their sole use of slightly boosting your shit. And very interesting, because yeah, it just makes your retention very low, which means you can't go anywhere with it. So it just pretty much just kills your. It's very bad for your channel. It really is just a killer. I was still doing good after it. I got lucky, but there, like, pretty much anybody else, past like another few people, got fucked by it. And it really sucks, because those people could have gone a lot further, I would say, if it wasn't for that. So then we do more digging for the second video, because he says he's making some shit, and then he actually ends up putting up a premiere, which we'll get to in a second. But there's him giving members, talking in their chat, putting his link in, telling people to go to his premiere in a dono. And I find out there's more than just him there that I know, but the other people were subbotting other people that I knew about, so they're not really important to the story unless they come up. He actually won a giveaway for the quote-unquote bananas, which is, you know, the engagement. So, it's sub for sub, but, you know, at least their chat is, but the fake engagement's called bananas. Just him donating. Literally them watching his shit on the live. Another dono for him getting his channel flexed, saying he loves the person that does subbotting. And then, yeah, Zaxxon's stealing other people's stuff again. It's more, you know. So, I end up getting my second video ready, of course, with all of that. And also, I didn't know this immediately, because I just stopped caring about Warfare at that point. This motherfucker this needs to stop, like, inserts himself into the drama for a dude that is quote-unquote not about drama and is done dealing with it. But that's like saying you're done getting CTE and concussions and then continually ramming your head into fucking concrete walls. Why the fuck are you doing that if you don't want it? Because you're just asking for it. And I mean, as I said, I don't say a lot to Warfare just because he's special needs. If he wasn't, the things I could say and would say, he would not like. He's very lucky that is a somewhat crutch for him. That makes me feel somewhat generous. But then he's also, I had a friend go a little bit undercover just to see what Zaxxon was messaging people. And I don't know how many people he's messaging like this about his shit. He was like, I will never try to break up a community like this. I still don't hate and pray. I just want peace in the community. You can't just call me an ugly-ass little gay boy and then just act like that. That's not him hating me. What was that supposed to mean then? That's not a, like, tough love thing. That's the weirdest form of tough love I'd ever see. So I get my video ready. He gets his ready. He doesn't know mine's gonna drop. I put mine out right before his. And now getting to his premiere, he's promoting this like crazy in his Discord, like it's the end of the world. I see two people in his comment section that are very intriguing, if you were to ask me. Very intriguing. Who are they? Warfare, again, and Mar. Warfare just saying, he's right about me, and I'm such a bad person, and all I'm here is to start shit. And then, of course, Mar saying shit. Oh, where the fuck is Mar again? Saying he's gonna make a mobile live about it, like anybody asks or even knows he exists at this point. And then acting like I'm bringing people into it, acting like I'm just doing this for attention, which, if I was gonna milk it, non-stop content about it, I'd monetize it all, and it'd be long, and that's all I would upload. I made one video on my main, I even ended up unlisting it and editing it. No monetization on. Same, and then I put the rest on my second channel, where I don't get anything off of it, so what, how? How? And, I mean, it was so interesting where even Kevin, who never talks at all, came out of nowhere. And, what the fuck did you do to this, Mom? In the most Irish accent possible. And, I will say with this video, if you're wondering what I was thinking going into it, like, I'm more of an introvert, so I'm not used to having situations like this. So I won't lie, my heart was beating. I was definitely nervous. But my brain already knew what he was gonna put. Like, I already knew the only shit he has on me would be the, you know, me being in those streams from when he manipulated me to be there, telling me it was all legit. And yeah. That's about it. And his video exposed two things. His actually personal things. A picture of his face in the corner of his screen. Because he doesn't know how to do that right. And his name. Which also got further exposed like right after that video. But as I said, we'll get to it. But it gets, you know, interesting. Puts out some silence is better than unnecessary drama. But then we start getting something from his account dealer, Shao, which he supplied the accounts for the giveaways. Usually Zaxxon would, you know, hit him up for that, you know. And he was telling us that Zaxxon would short him for accounts, and this was when he was good, by the way. Saying he was shorting him for accounts, and just half paying and shit, and just pretty much fucking with him. And then it seemed like, because they'd been on bad terms for a minute, a dispute over this one account, and I mean, I can tell you from now, in that part, there was bad for both. But what Zaxxon did after, it was, you know. Zaxxon ended up starting to pull back money from some accounts that he had already got from him. And pretty much took, like, almost $200 USD back. Because if you're wondering how account shit works with PayPal, or, like, you know, how people do, there's family and friends and business, which will have payment protection. They never did friends and family. They always did the one thing. So then, you know, and I don't know why. Also, because Zaxxon used his actual account with his actual name on it. So when we got sent that, and Shao started posting that stuff, Zaxxon's real name started getting out there. And then also because he had it on his Xbox, because he didn't understand how it worked. Yeah, we found out pretty much a lot of his accounts were stolen. The ones that he would give to his friends and let them borrow. Who knows how many of his, like, main alt accounts and main accounts in general. He also starts, like, privating his stuff and all that. He's, like, really getting into it. He gets mad at Shao, like, really mad, saying, I spent a fortune on these accounts and placed under investigation. By fucking who? Okay? That is the question we ask today. Then he's in somebody else's chat. Shao, what are you doing? But he best stop bringing my legal name out in the community. And I don't know why you would use your personal shit if you didn't want your personal info potentially getting out there knowing what you did. Just to make that clear. And then, not like anybody even knew where it was. He literally just tells them where it is so they can go find his name for himself. Saying he did so much nice for the community. Again, same shit he keeps saying. I would never scam anyone. I spent nearly 1K on accounts from him. And they were pulled back and banned. Saying he scammed them. And I don't know what I know. Shaw didn't pull back any accounts. And they got banned by Rockstar because he only bought dupe accounts because they were cheap. Has nothing to do with the dealer. As much as I don't like Shao now. Has nothing to do with the dealer. Saying he gifted 60 accounts on his channel. Another dude in that chat was actually speaking facts, but talks about donating because he acts like him being nice in some part is him donating nonstop, which that just means you're charitable. That has nothing to do with you being nice. If you were to ask me, if you giving money is your whole character, that's not even being nice. That's just charitable in that sense. If there's no actual niceness behind it past that, and you're just donating to donate to look nice, you're just being charitable. That doesn't even always mean that you're actually being nice. It's funny because one of his friends ended up seeing his actual name and said his name was a predator's name. I'm not going to say it, but you get the gist. Shortly after that, I actually get something from T, his best friend. And I'm calling him that in this story because he doesn't really want to deal with this shit anymore. So, but he is important to the story, so we're just not gonna call him what he is his name. But he DM'd me saying it started between Y7 and Zaxxon, which stuff has started between them, but that had nothing to do with the whole picture here. It's like the corner of the frame. But he was telling me he was getting affected by it. Now, we were pretty sure that Zaxxon was manipulating him at this point, because he was older than Zaxxon for sure. Way older. So we knew that that's probably something at play, which was a little risky to it. And I ended up explaining everything to him. He actually took it pretty well for some reason. And then he actually admitted to me that Zaxxon wanted him to strike my video. But all he wanted me was either unlist it or edit his part out of it, which I did. And then he was good with it. But since Zaxxon also wasn't happy with his name being out there, what did he start doing? With anybody he knew the names and had pictures of them, he would make alt accounts and then with their actual name and what they look like, with who they actually are, like their username, and go into people's chats with it. Some weird shit. And what did he say to it? He said it's not him, and said, keep out my business, you're a weirdo. His only response to it. And then he sent that to Booger, by the way. And when he sent to Jimmy, wanted to block him, doesn't want to talk to toxic people, quote unquote. Says he can bring the law into it. Actually, I gotta go back because I forgot. These are in backwards order. He calls Jimmy a rat. Be careful. And then, because he says he knows who had his picture, and now, not gonna lie, he's stupid because he did send me his face pic. I never leaked it though. People just ended up finding it. And he said, only you and one rat that had my face pic. And then he starts saying his name and Booger's name. He said he's depressed, logged this harassment. Now, Jimmy being Jimmy just says Zaxxon's name back to him. He said the reason why he did it, because Boogers can't stop commenting and getting involved. But it involves her. And he says he doesn't care it's his name. So if he didn't care though, why would he do all that? Because his name got out there. Then he says he needs to speak to Nitrix, and some other streamers in the big W community. And says he's a G and he needs to know. And he's just talking about he's older and he's not letting this go. He's older than the other ones. Jimmy's done it too because he's done it to other people. He said it's, I don't know why he just randomly said it's Father's Day. You sent all screenshots to your chum, fake ass bitches. I'll do what I have to. Screenshot that, you cunt. He gets really mad. You will bully people and you're a parent. That's shameful, not gonna lie. Embarrassing. Cyberbullies look like this. This sounds like a picture of some Discord model. Fuck. Jimmy says, I don't want your selfie. I won't lie. It was kind of funny as a clapback. It's a fact. Then he says Shao scammed him. Which, with the one account that caused it to really get bad, I think that was both ways from what I can tell. But there's no denying he pulled back $200 from account deals. There's literally the proof of that. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say about that. And they said it would have been decent if you actually came speaking like an adult, but no, you came here to have a go. Kick while you're down. Same dude that says he's down. If you were down, you wouldn't do anything back. And you're just being all aggressive back and then trying to, like... He keeps switching these personas of the God complex, the guilt tripping, all that. The narcissism. It's just hard to keep up with him. He just has a whole... Like, it's just hard to explain. Yeah, then there's that. Get myself back up to speed. Then he starts going into the W community streamers chats with his actual account, his side, second channel, and then his alts. With his second channel, and pretty most toxic little rat there is, attention seeking, and he's your mod, disgusting, I'm out this community, fix your mods. Of course, I hide him, because what's the fun in it if I don't do it? Then uses another account of somebody's real name, picture, and who they are in the chat. Nitrix, you stupid. Get your mods in check. Big streamer who created a community to watch trolls destroy it. Y7 is the worst one. Y7 is not even a troll, bro. Y7 is just Y7. That's actually kind of, not nice. It says you need to answer in Discord. And, by the way, I do have what he sent to some of the W community streamers. I'm not going to show the picture. I'm just going to read it out. For the integrity part of this. Hello, blank. I wonder if you can consider me as moderator as I am active on all of your streams and you're my top 3 YouTubers. With the emojis, of course. Also, I hit a year's membership on your channel with decent watch hours. Understand if you don't want to, G, and I look forward to the stream later. Then adds him because Duty message doesn't really great with responding. And then that day when he was doing all that and getting hit him. Bro, I need to speak. It's serious. It's very serious at that. I can't let it go on. A lot of your mods are bullying, humiliating, lying. I need to speak ASAP. It's affecting my health. Can't spell affecting right. And adds him. And then, second paragraph. An awful lot of lies are being made up. Manipulation and everything else. I think you should stand up to this as this is your community too. You built it. A lot of the people bullying me are a lot of the people you sent from your channel. Y7 is a big cause of this also. At blank. I did nothing but be nice to everyone, except they took me for granted. Hopefully you can respond because it's going to keep escalating. You guys see these continual patterns that he pulls out and tries to use. Like, just keep noting this shit. And said streamer had things to say. I'm not going to say it. They did say something. Also, during this time, some people from Mice Crew ended up hiding me and him. Now, I didn't really care about that, but I will say I don't fuck with them anymore from what they did to what's his name, little dude. But that has nothing to do with this shit. Another W community streamer had gotten something, and I mean obviously because he's watching. I know this man's watching this video. He knows who he sent this shit to. We'll read the what he sent to this one. Blank, blank, and blank. Don't care about the community. They are there to make money. And then he says, so true. Unfortunately, you are listening to some dumbass bullying kids. Warrior 7 constant God mode attached to me and other things. Check Zaxxon 2 channel. You will see what Emperor has also did. I did nothing but be nice to the community. I was a huge supporter, yet you're going to ignore me and hide me from your channel. Well, that's utterly disgusting. Also, for reference, I was not at this dude's channel. I've talked to him in people's chats. I did not go to this person's channel that much. I've been there, like, in the chat collectively, like, 5 or 6 times. Very, very funny that he was trying to do that. And then his best friend, Mr. T, was sending us stuff, and I'll read some of this off. Actually, I'll let y'all read it, because my voice is getting fucking, Another guilt-tripping people thing, and meanwhile, why he's saying this shit, Mr. T has, like, his face is fucking, like, aching, man. He is, like, kind of hurt. So it's very selfish, like, the narcissism where he acts like he matters more than anybody else and shit, too. And, he's doesn't deserve this. But yeah, he was told about all of it, so. Now, after that, where are we? June 18th. I wake up, and I see some nice messages from 2 random accounts I didn't know about. One called, just keep these in mind, there's Lemon Boy, and there's Sweetness. Now there's Sweetness. Everybody spam report these posts for cyberbullying. Put this man in his place. One with the egg. And then, reported 100 times, channel's closed. I mean, I think you all understand who y'all think this is. Like, it's fucking Zaxxon, okay? He has a shit ton of accounts. And this is an account that, you'll see a little bit. You'll see a little bit. So I see these, and by the way, it's like 10 in the morning when I see this. He's commented these at like 3 a.m. Both at the same time. With both accounts. And roughly it's like 8 a.m. for him when he sent that. So, it lines up that he would have actually sent this. We also get something from his best friend, Mr. T, telling us that Zaxxon was actually on a budget loan, and that it goes, if he needs anything, let him know. Mind you, he is actually supposedly had custody of a kid. We're also doing a little bit more digging because I'm getting the 3rd video together. He was across the GTA God. If you don't know who that is, like, notorious freeze-lagger booter guy that got fucking railed by Recoil and a few other people. But, yeah, he's just a unfortunate. I've had to deal with him a little bit, but he never did anything to me. But, pretty much, I guess Zaxxon stumbled upon his shit, and he's like, booting's not cool. Imagine booting. It's cringe. Word for later. And then Zaxxon goes in another one of his friends' chats, and he's like, don't forget, I have Jimmy's address he sent me. Blank. Police are already involved. It affected my son. This is serious. Blank, bro. Don't let them in your chat. Trust me. You will be the first one to see my video. Blank. With how he acts, and especially if you're on alone and on GTA all day, and you'll see what I mean by that. I question if he says that just for sympathy at this point, or if he actually has custody of his son. But pretty much he was trying to act like a victim, and it just did not end well for him. Like, he started spamming that friend with so much shit. Take my mod, or I can't be there. They're my enemies. They make my life hell. You don't know the story. They forced me out community and they bullied me. Keep begging them, take my mod. I'm out of YouTube altogether. They are winning every time, says the guy that says he's gonna win, come out on top. But of course, we gotta act like a victim so people actually want to sympathize. Trying to destroy the last of me. I'm done with it, bro. Calls us very sneaky for it. You're chilling with the people who destroyed me, bro. Much love. I'm deleting my channel today. And by the way, he does actually end up like delisting his channel from YouTube. He reinstates this because it's mid-June. He reinstates this late September. So it's going for about 3 months. And then, you know, he's just still crying. And he's like, the guy himself is like, not my issue. I'm not getting involved. Bro, keep sending him shit. More shit. Eye emojis and shit. I'm not getting involved. And bro's just still crying. It's actually insane that he did that much begging for nothing. That much guilt tripping and victim mentality for nothing. And another alt account appeared in his chat, as I figured out later. Whoever thinks Zaxxon's channel is deleted are more stupid than Jimmy John's Pizza. He doesn't even have a pizza, and, you know. It's almost like this guy's ever been around, like, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Master's degree in fucking yapping. And once he delists his channel for a few months, a prominent figure in Indian King stream, who, if you don't know the background, is New Year's Flasher. It doesn't really translate to US stuff that well, but he starts, you know, someone named Delivering Cargo, who you will soon to find out is like Zaxxon's main alt account he lives on. And that's where he's at. That's where he starts to really start coming alive. And you'll notice it later, but like you can tell he runs Indian King stream. And it's not even Indian King. Like Indian King streams, that's it. Everything else, you can tell this man has some say behind it. Like he is an executive of the company, and Indian King is just the worker. I also end up getting some privacy complaints that never went anywhere about my videos because, of course, he wasn't so happy with the uploads and he couldn't get the strike. So, and he actually starts messaging Mr. T back because he still somewhat uses his actual shit, saying, "I need a budget loan. Show your true face." Like he was waiting to say all this shit. That he beats his son. Like, bro, you literally can't make this shit up, can you? If they don't go with him, chat, if you're not on his side of the spectrum, you have to die. You have to die by the stake. And then, like, you blocked him because he's not dealing with that shit. So, more with Indian King shit. I was actually filming a trolling vid, so I wanted to go see and learn a little bit more about this Delivering Cargo guy that seemed to be kind of like the little alts I've had to deal with. So I join him, get a few things out of him. I figure out what his accounts are, which one's a shitty barcode and the other's called Ixuyo. Why is that important? Great question. Zaxxon had a old alt called redux. He had a shit ton of accounts, like an RNCXR or some shit. The 750 account, both the Zaxxons. He has a lot of accounts. He's had a lot of accounts. He had one called redux that kind of went, you know, ghost. Like, nobody really figured out where it went. And I heard about that he just changed the name of it. So I was like, why does he have Zaxxon's account for somebody that doesn't seem to know Zaxxon? And also, by the way, for other context, Indian King's chat is just filled with, like, there's like at least 3 different booters I can think of that are from there, including Delivering Cargo. In his own quotes, "I don't want to do it to nice people, but Bro, just people who like to abuse glitches. He also ends up adding me on his second channel. Final video coming out soon, which, by the way, he said that about, like, 3 different videos on me. They have never come out. I don't even know if he actually worked on it, or if it's just, again, the fear-mongering trying to make me stop, because he knows if I just keep going, it's just gonna get worse and worse for him. And, of course, it does, but, I end up going on vacation late June, early July, because I had already been planning way before all this. And this man leaves a comment while I'm walking through the fucking forest of Oregon, somewhere near Portland, I think. Listen, what's done is done, and pray. No need to keep uploading, just move on like I have. You're a child compared to me, so I have much screenshots and things myself. I'm not gonna get into it all. I'm done with it all. He was, in fact, not done with it all. And, you know, later down the line, when I'm back, I end up popping into a Indian King stream after I see somebody telling me that Delivering Cargo was talking about me, and that I see him and Ammonir going at it, which, for also reference, I did a tournament for an account, and it came down to Ammonir and Zaxxon. Zaxxon let Ammonir have an account. Just to make that clear. So I pop in, you know, Delivering Cargo is talking shit to me. And of course, when I call him Zaxxon instantly, what happens? The Zaxxon's second channel, because that stays up the whole time, doesn't it? Comes out of nowhere. He's just pretty much talking to himself. Just keep reading the shit on the screen. But, then he tells me that it says I beg people to strip naked and I'm a child, which I'm under 18, I'm a minor. And when the fuck did I do that, bro? Did you find a rip-off version of me on, like, Jerkmate or something? With his weird ass, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. But he tells me he's from the US. No pounds. Which, the fact that he knows that, a little interesting. You know. I digress. By the way, I've never seen this dude around Zaxxon stuff pre all this happening. He's just acting like, trying to laugh it off if you know, people think he's Zaxxon. Says he's friends with them. Asked him how many kids he had, he said none. I think people are obsessed with Zaxxon, which that's some shit Zaxxon would say. Says he's 19, Zaxxon's like 30. How would you know that if you barely talk to this man in public? Just out of the blue, came out of nowhere. So we're getting to the interesting parts, aren't we? Aren't we all? And of course, he just called me stupid. Doesn't argue with uneducated nerds. He said he bought that account from Zaxxon, which, you know what doesn't add up about that, even past where that could be true? Zaxxon doesn't sell his accounts. He just either gives them away or he gives them to his friends. So, that's just the biggest fucking lie I've ever heard if you're his friend. Then he said, let's 1v1 IRL, he knows where I live. So he's not far from me. I say, where do I live then? Because he says he's in NYC. I am, if you don't know, in New Jersey. Yeah, I fucking hate it here, but I'm here. What am I supposed to do about it? Then he said, they all went quiet, bro. I have a master plan for these weirdos. Yeah. And we did have evidence of him admitting those, you know, accounts for his, by the way, the, Xuyo, AK for Cucks, and the barcode. Also, when I was trolling him, he said that, because there's like 3 booters in the chat. This guy called Spark Fuse, whatever the fuck, Too Cold, who isn't around anymore, and then Delivering Cargo. At the time, though, quote-unquote, Delivering Cargo, aka Zaxxon, didn't know how to do that shit. And bro told the other booter to get my IP that I was fucking with him on, and then he assumes it's me, you know. And then he gets my account 10 banned and reports it because, you know, what else can you do to the guy fucking with you? And, you know, he wasn't so happy, you know, he laughing his ass off, acting like, what did he say? We have the last laugh, brother. I have a name change. So no, you don't. Saying RIP, just laughing, ha ha ha, like, just the most random, weird laughing shit you can think of. And that's what he's doing. Meanwhile, I'm like just dying that this is what he's giving me as a reaction to put in the video. Then, Zaxxon comes out of nowhere. Says we're dumb as shit. Of course, you know, comes out of nowhere. Says, I'm not even active and people hanging off my dick. Flexing score on people and shit for a dude that doesn't care and all that, you know. He says he's gonna go live, and I will say, he never ended up going live on that channel once. At all. Not even a single bit. Never did. When you play with fire, what happened? And he said, again, he paid $30 for an account from Zaxxon. Zaxxon doesn't sell accounts. If you're his friend, he'll probably just give you the account. So, I don't know. That just doesn't add up, okay? It doesn't. It doesn't. And then, Zaxxon is our friend. You have zero evidence to back up what you're saying. And you're all obsessed with the dude. Give him a rest. Well, fucker, he went to go rest. Why do we need to give him one? And he's like, how is Zaxxon's dick taste? And like, of course, people fucking with him. I don't know. You know, no one's on his dick. No one would want to be on his dick. Not even his fucking, you know, significant others. Then he messages the booter in the chat. Anybody can see this. Too cold. I have a big project for you, brother. I will cash app you $50. Also, because he acts like he's in the US, they discontinued the UK being able to use Cash App when, like, before he sent that. So that doesn't add up, especially because that is Zaxxon. We all know. But it's just funny. It's just funny. And he's saying they accuse him of all kind of stuff they did to themselves. Yeah, we didn't support ourselves. That's really smart. Then, like, later on, he tries to accuse... He says, for Nitrix's chat, 20 typing and 400 watching. They bots. Meanwhile, Indian Kings had the same amount and probably, like, 5 people typing. And Nitrix has, like, 30 to, like, 60, 70 people in his chat. During the whole stream, probably over 100. A lot of people just don't talk a lot. There's the casuals that always like talk a lot. There's some that talk a little, and there's people that don't talk at all. But that's just how streams are. Not every time people talk. Especially for a dude that's stalking, but you'll see later in the video. By the way, and as I said, he's running his channel. If you talk shit about him, or like if you say he's Zaxxon, take his mod. If he's talking shit, take his mod. He's also making Indian King's thumbnails and made him profile. You can tell if you know his editing style. It's really shit. So yeah. Then I start seeing more of his alts around. You know, this one saying that I rely on YouTube and that he's gonna do all this shit. You know. Oh, so scared. Then I start looking into these alt accounts a little bit more to understand, I guess, what I'm working with. Best way to put it. What do I find? I find the Delivering Cargo account and Sweetness account have some interesting things on it. Start with Delivering Cargo. This man has a 21-minute, almost 22-minute video on Indian King. Before all this happened, mind you, this was still within a month of this all starting. So he posted that before. So he had been around there. You know, who knows how much. He also had a video on somebody that Zaxxon hated. And somebody that hated Zaxxon. I'm going to say that. And then more music shit, which kind of adds on to it being Zaxxon. You'll see later. Another weird thing. You see the settings account and the lemon account in delivering cargo shit. That just makes so much sense. And of course Indian King, but that's the only thing that makes sense. Then we look into the Sweetness account. This account has posted RIP arson vids like 2 years ago, which would be 2022. Before anybody knew Zaxxon. Mainly anybody. Just a bunch of Indian King short clips and like shit editing that would be some Zaxxon shit. Like, probably the highest level of glazing you could go for somebody that, like, and all of these got uploaded, like it seems like on his alts, not on Zaxxon, that he had really started getting close to Indian King, and he just told him that Zaxxon was his shit, and to give him all the, help run his channel. That's what I'd assume. Because there's no way all of these accounts, and by the way, I had talked to this account before in his chat, thinking it was a real person. Which was very fucking odd. But then, something with Mr. T happens and shit. And, tries to act like he's in a party with Zaxxon and, all that. Says he could stream and, as I said, he never ends up streaming. Then he starts going, again, into the W community streamers chats with his accounts. You can read that. Talking about 3 people God mode, like he has been around there to know that, so it instantly knows that's who that is. Then starts doxing even more, but this time it's not the same people. It's his best friend, Mr. T, saying their names. Then switches his profile picture to her, which I guess what she looked like, his significant other, and then him. And then starts saying all this shit that Zaxxon never said, or nobody else would know about, probably but Zaxxon. If it's true. Which just puts him in a very weird spot, because, if somebody says they know so much, usually that doesn't mean they're going to spoil it to somebody else, and they'll know more, and say more publicly, than the said person that supposedly knew a lot. It's just very odd. And then delivering cargo saying Zaxxon will be back to YouTube. He just went on a holiday, family stuff. Then he's talking about bringing beef to people's chats. Like, he doesn't go into other people's chats all day, all night, on alt. And him arguing with Fighter. And you already know how I feel about Fighters. It's hard to put up with him because he's in his cringe phase, so we're just going to wait till GTA 6 and pray he gets old enough. Then he starts going into alts again, but he actually does more doxing, like where people live, and their names, their age, crime, or some shit. One of the alts that he was in my chat on, then he says something about the same shit that Zaxxon said once before. Tells us know that he actually has delivering cargo added, which probably means it was one of Zaxxon's old accounts that he switched to that. So it's at least probably 2 accounts. 2 accounts. Which, it's just interesting. It's just interesting. Figure out that there's some, profile picture likeness with the barcode that he had in the Zaxxon account. Looking more at the alts, they actually had some, engagement on channels and, you know, like comment, not just like streams. And then he comes into another W community person's, you know, stream talking about, you're multi to anybody who talks about Y7 God mode cheating. Just like all this shit. I'm not trying to talk about it too much, but yeah, you guys can see it. And then some other account, I'm gonna read this one. If Jimmy keeps talking shit about my friend, y'all all get targeted. I will come to blank blank blank. It was an address, that's all I'm gonna say. And show him what I'm about. Idiots. If you even had the money to get to the East Coast, that would be even more surprising. So pretty much fully doxes somebody in a chat, and then I mean it's crazy for a dude who said he's not about booting or doxing, and bro does this on all. And of course he wouldn't do it on his own thing because he thinks that his hiding is good enough where it's not coming back. Then it is. It's not hard to tell, especially if he's the only one who actually had that info. You're pretty much just admitting you're the one who did it. I mean, and even if at the very least, even if that wasn't him, in some random universe, because everybody knows it was him, he would still be the one giving them somebody that shit to do that. So it's still doxing. Like he has a life. He's the most talked about YouTuber when he comes back. Talking about yourself in third person, like he's a legend, so rare to see. You'll never see anybody else like him. Says I'm gonna feel the power and like all this shit. Talking about my viewers and that I only do shit for drama. Man, if I was like that, I'd be like low-key X and I would have monetized the shit out of all of this. I've uploaded every vid past the one, which I didn't even monetize on the channel that it could have been monetized on my second channel. Because I actually don't want to fuck up my actual channel having to deal with your ass. And then also, you know, another weird thing is a lot of Zaxxon's D-Riders have mod in Indian King stream. Makes you wonder who pulls the strings there because you never see them around. So, they would have earned it from Indian King if they were around a lot. That doesn't seem to add up, does it? He's just saying he has like a plan. Even says his name is Dylan, not Zaxxon, as delivering cargo. Saying Nitrix videos are staged and that he has no skill. And he is in an Indian King stream. I digress. Starts posting stuff on his Instagram, which is private, but because we had a certain person who still followed him, that would give us these, you know, what he's posting. It's funny because he's also posting like Sigma shit. I don't even want to play it, but it's funny. Just because I'm trying to keep this video serious, I'm not. But if you go to his Instagram, you will see it if he doesn't private it after this. He also calls me out on a mobile live and tours his whole fucking house. Then I found a old thing of him talking about he has a boy and a girl, admitting he has kids, and saying if he had any pedo shit, if he saw any pedo shit, he'd go to prison for murdering a pedo with his forehead. He's so against it, and then saying some weird ass shit. Partially uses a second channel for stuff. Now, I will say, we're in a period now from, like, early August to late September. You're not gonna see a whole lot out of him. Also, like, again, people that said that it seems like he's Zaxxon, demod. Wouldn't hide them, because then it's just too suspicious, but he would just demod them. Get them demodded. Or people that didn't like him. He started getting mad at people talking shit about him losing the Indian King. And anybody, you know, as I said, exposed to this shit, demod them. Then he actually starts shit talking some other people, aka K Dog, ending my war or whatever. I forget his name now. Who's also really good friends with Killer Venom, who is also somewhat important. He also very obviously a sub-modder if you look at his shit, but as I said again, he's not doing it to other people, so I don't care. Like my thing about it, if you can't tell already, if you're not doing it to other people and you just want to harm your own channel, go ahead. I literally don't care. I just don't want other people's channels getting fucked because, you know, shit they didn't ask for. Whole argument, pretty much most of this, if you're wondering. Indian King gets banned. Now we are in late September. Indian King, an Indian King stream, delivering cargo, talking about Killer Venom couldn't pay for membership, calling him broke and fat bot. And then magically on September 24th, his channel comes back. Doesn't say anything on it for a second, but it comes back. It's important, okay? Holy shit, this thing is long as a video. I'm gonna try to speed this through a little bit faster. And if you're wondering what caused him to actually come back, somebody was triggering him enough on delivering cargo in Killer Venom's chat, where he actually proceeded to reinstate his channel, and because he had mod on some people's shit before he, you know, disabled his shit, comes back as mod, obviously instantly gets taken away for him shit talking and, you know. He's talking about he donated like 2K to charity. I've never heard of that shit. Says I'm under protection and I can't leave my house without my mom. It's not how protection works. Makes a community post saying he's back, and who's first person to comment delivering cargo. So fucking, you know, so obvious it's not him. Then I also look back, because I can finally look now. Some of those alt accounts were actually on his channel. The settings one, talking about bullying you, eliminating the channel of the guy bullying you. It's easy. My friend is already targeting him, like, literally admitting this shit. And then he also is starting to pay for Indian King's shit because Indian King's broke. Even though he says Indian King makes so much money, no, he doesn't. Then he was talking about some really weird shit. He wanted 5 minutes in a room with me. He said it'll make me look different. He says my ass will fall out. I don't know his identity. He would bear hug me and crush my organs. Calls me a loser skinny bot. Says my ass has 50 spots. Wash my ass. Like, who the fuck says this shit, bro? Some weird demented ass fucking... I don't even know, bro. Of course he times me out. And then he was like, prove I'm Saxon, I will donate 500. Like, you don't even have 500. Let's be honest. And it's funny, bro. Somebody else calls him out. Demod him. Saxon is a good guy. Whoever talks about him jealous, prove to me otherwise. You all sound jealous when people talk about him. Go find a woman or something. You don't even have a woman yourself, Saxon. The only woman you had, and, you know, procreated with, left you. And has one of your kids. You can't even see them. So why... What room do you have to shit talk about that? Like, I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, but, like, I wonder why you're not actually with her. I mean, knowing how you are, we could probably assume that. Let's just be honest. But it's just very interesting. And again, glazing himself with the he did so much, the God complex, third person shit. Then he starts talking about he's only online when Indian King is, and I mean, this dude will be on with Indian King for like a whole fucking day, like 17-hour streams. Um, then he starts talking about anybody that got into one of Zaxxon's accounts, that he has their location and shit. He says Zaxxon has kids. Everybody knew that. Then he says he doesn't boot on Zaxxon in Indie King's chat, of course. Makes another community post explaining why he was gone, you know, saying he's a grown man and there's no lives, and that anybody believing the theories is very interesting and it's very disturbing. People are. Best thing for him and his family. His family has nothing to do with his channel, by the way. Just to make that clear. Before that point, he never really mentioned his family unless it was his son. And that's pretty much the only child or family member we know about from him. Saying that he has... Yeah, then he was also starting to mention, while gone, that he had another channel that was monetized and making all this money and shit. Which was very interesting. And, of course, he wouldn't show it because it probably doesn't fucking exist. And of course, on that, I see Saikuma and Sukoi. Sukoi is already known for saying some really weird shit. And, Saikuma I've already had to deal with. Got really weird towards me after, I kindly explained to his girl in my chat why he wasn't allowed here for, you know, how weird he has been and shit. And he just, of course, like, he's just mad weird. I've been on and off with him. Friendly and not friendly, so yeah. And of course, because he's back, Xiao's going fucking crazy, just hounding this man. And at this point, Xiao had been found as an actual scammer. He stole $30 in a shit 4-letter from me, so. Cool. I'm not that broke, bro. And, like, he's just flooding this man's comments with stealing shit. Zaxxon also started saying shit like, he spent all this money on accounts, they all got banned by Rockstar, so the person who sold them clearly sold dodgy items and should have refunded. If you're willingly buying dupes, which are already riskier than non-dupes, no matter what, you know they're riskier. Why buy them if you think it's risky and you're afraid of them getting banned? You shouldn't have bought an account in the first place. And you can't blame a dealer for Rockstar doing shit, so, you know. Again, this is why he sells accounts, or doesn't sell accounts and just gives them to people. Because he's a buyer. Then he's acting like he's not bothered by it, but, you know. Has to bring it up. He also says hi to Mar, the pedophile, who he got caught hearting his comment on that premiere for the second video. Or when I had my second video, he put his up. And, you know, of course he unhearted when we said he was a pedophile. Wasn't afraid to say, you know. Then a weird email gets sent to somebody, you know, I'm not going to read it, but asking all this shit, saying if not, you're just going to get attacked more with, and you know, at that time, like, multiple people were getting booted non-stop if they were going into, like, pub lobbies and shit. So, not like the game was lively, but, like, yeah. Also more shit of, you know, him running the stream, you know, trying to get him to join this lobby non-stop just because he didn't like that he wasn't in his lobby. Actually says his own name and doesn't get mad for the first time. Says he was gonna go live. We did make him go live, but that's later. And that was his only live since probably about May last year. So, yeah. Very weird shit by the email. Saying Zaxxon a booter, you dumb. And Zaxxon doesn't like booters, but hangs out with delivering cargo. Literally says, well, 3 god motors gone already. Bye. Because, you know, of course he boots them. makes a poll about, whether he should explain himself for booting and scamming or not. Fucking, I think you already knew how that was gonna be. Starts talking about he actually got paintings done but didn't like them, so he never took them. By GP does. And then obviously after all that, he wasn't allowed around there, so then Taz got the paint, or T got the painting. And I'm happy about that. And just yapping. More yapping. More yapping. I don't know what Xiao was saying to him. I know Xiao was not happy, but we told fight, okay? I'm just going to let that one play out because it's not my issue. Saying he's pulled nothing and then saying that, Then he said even the account he had off me, he never pulled better. He custom, handcrafted. And by the way, I sold all my accounts from him. So, if he pulls them back, he's just pulling them back from people that aren't me. And just, it has no effect on me. Just to make that clear. They all got sold away or given away. So, cool. And then he got mad on delivering cargo because people were hiding and shit. This is what you guys get from this little people going offline right now. And then saying Nitrix about bullies. Nitrix gonna get humiliated. Zaxxon is a good-looking guy. T fancies him, he said. And then bro says he has the exact stream of Zaxxon's because he was there. By the way, as I said, never seen him around before all this shit. So, another case of it, He gives a lot of reasons why these alts are him. And I'm like 99% certain with all of them that they're him. And you'll see why later. Yeah, just him bad. Said he knows me, Jimmy's, Pure's, Y7's addresses. He has a database. More about accounts that I don't have anymore. Cool. Fucking got so mad. He's talking about hiring booters, expensive shit, paying big money. And by the way, one of the booters, I don't even know if it was multiple. A booter that he hired actually fried somebody's router. Just to make that, and it was a really shit one, but he did actually fry somebody's router and they didn't have internet for a minute, so I'm not going to say who, but he did actually do that, for reference. More shit happening while I wasn't there. Another dude talking about how Zaxxon, he's never in the same shit on the same account. Remove the dude's mod. Give it to somebody. Yeah. Another person Boogers actually uploaded him, and then he's on more alts saying all this shit. It's funny as shit. I'm just gonna show it on the screen. Pause it if you want to see it. Very interesting. Then he even comments on his own account. He's an hour 45-minute video. And guess what? I have a 2-hour video. Good luck, pussy. All these yapping, and you can tell it's him. He's the one who would yap like this. Yeah, you just see how he types. Like, it's the same shit he actually types like. Then he's talking about people who live in whatever state. I forgot if he was talking about me or not in this. Who would kill you for money. Like, death threat. Hitman death threat shit. Actually starts posting shit about him in delivering cargo in a lobby. Which, I can tell you, he'd actually made an unlisted video of it not being him, quote unquote. What do I have to say to that? because you would think, yeah, that's pretty hard of it. It's not you. He just let Indian King borrow the account. It's the one person he would probably let on that account the most. And if not, it was just somebody else he knew. Because the person did not, they didn't play this game. They definitely do. That was not how delivering cargo has played out of what I've seen. And then he actually ended up striking Mr. God of War Most Hated for shit. And more just shout cooking the fuck, trying to get him cooked. Also, if you're wondering why I also say that Zaxxon's running the channel, because like a shit ton of Indian King's titles are about Joker or Nitrix. Nobody else. And he usually calls out people that are more known than him. And yeah. And on one of his videos, he had the Sweetness account and some other little bit suspicious looking people. Won't lie with you. Another few people, and I will say at this time onward, he was on a stalking thing, where if he sees anybody in your shit that wasn't friendly with him, guilt trip DM. For example, what he did to Ghost Beretta. Do you guys see the same shit he said earlier? Just trying to make people feel bad. And obviously, people don't fall for it. Don't project and look for validation. Somebody like that is who I need to understand shit like this. A lot of community posts and shit about stuff he never does. Facecam streams. New alt. Don't even know. And then, here's where things get interesting. Where are we at now? Okay. I'm going pretty good. I found out he was actually playing GTA, actively. Every day he was on it for some hours. He was actually putting in some hours on GTA again. So I figured out that I actually have him added on an account. He never unadded me. So I joined him up, waited in his lobby for an hour, just doing shit and just seeing what he would react to that being. And he ends up, leaving, and then I join him again, and then he actually doesn't stand your ground. So what do I do, chat? What do you think Emperor does? Orb him, and then fuck with him, and, he wasn't so happy about it. It was a first one, and then the second one I actually got some friends. One being Legend, by the way, no one was glitching, or any of this shit at all. All just shit. We have Legend, the SYG Taker, and Jimmy with his Avenger. We almost take it. They leave the lobby and rage quit. And he starts leaving comments on my shit. Talking to himself again. He even botted my stream after. Coincidentally, my stream had a shit ton of likes the day after. More random shit. His community tab. More channels. Which, with how much time he spends with, I tell you it's bullshit, because with the amount of time this man spends with Indian King, there's no fucking way that he has any actual time for his son at that point, or even a channel. And then, also because he called me and all of us God mode and shit, we let Y7 have a 70-0 run on him. And we actually pissed him off enough where he started his stream, which I'm not going to play any clips because I'm just trying to, strike it. It won't work, but we'll save him the time and effort. We'll be nice. And that was very interesting. I was laughing. I actually got a clip of him in game chat screeching. He was just mad. Half of his chat can't believe he's on. Half his chat's just fucking with him. Some of his chat's talking about booting. Fucking Shao's there. Where are we at now? Yeah, he calls it this shit. He just keeps switching shit up.
That's exactly why he doesn't upload.
Just like he's really pissed, just rambling on that stream. Makes a really weird AI title that looks exactly like some shit Indian King would have. And then gets pressed by somebody from Nitrix's shit about it. So he changes all the shit, which is hilarious, and just turns it into adding my ass instead. And then, like, out of nowhere, like, days later, we'll come back and just say, sorry, G, I got to include Nitrix. And after this, he said he was going to make a whole upload on Nitrix, and me, and Y7, and all that shit. He made one video on Pure, and then he made, like, a video with, like, Fighter, because he thought Fighter was, Y7. Y7, and then, Mr. Most Hated. Whatever the fuck. We also start seeing some other interesting people around it. Red Hero, who... I forget if he's even been around in a minute, but... I've heard mixed things from this man. About him. And then Fighter actually lets this man know that it wasn't him, and he gets so mad. I actually do some digging and find out Zaxxon was in some other people's comments. Delete Your Game, who is friends with Peaceful Lemon, and as you all know, I'm not a huge fan of Peaceful Lemon, or him, to be dead honest with you. Because this dude plays like, I mean, at least he's open about it, but he plays weird. So, but, I'm not gonna, you know, as much as he can be very interesting and weird and shit, I will give him the credit where credit's due on this one, because he was fucking with Zaxxon and shit. And he knew the same shit we knew about it, so. All this shit, more shit, more shit. I have so much fucking shit, like comments and all that shit. Saying Nitrix is a supporter of God mode players. If you know Nitrix, it's not what it is. Here's the thing about that, if you're wondering. He doesn't like God mode, but that doesn't mean he's gonna, like, unadd somebody for, or, you know, completely cut somebody off for just using it. That's not enough of a case. That's just not. Obviously, he might unfriend you, or, like, you know, unadd you, or, you know, that shit. He's not gonna do some overboard shit over God mode. That's, you know. Also, start seeing, more things back again from the Lemon account, saying I get no views and I have so many subs, delete my channel, no one cares about this, we are up. Yet we are up, aka we don't upload, we don't stream, and we make no money on YouTube. That's considered up. Saying I'm losing subs when that was YouTube taking away the sub bots that man literally gave me. One bad movie channel, you know, like all this shit. We're getting to, oh shit. We're getting to the good part. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just more shit, you know. You know, more shit with the lemon fucker being around and all that, you know. But I decided to do some real digging, because there was some interesting shit I was seeing. And chat, what do I find? I found out that back in 2021 and 2022, Zaxxon actually was not in the same predicament, but something similar. He had a lot of people fucking with him on his streams. And he had, it was so bad to a point where there was a whole 100-person crew dedicated to fucking with him. And, you know, I don't know their motive. I don't really know what Zaxxon did for this. To be honest, I don't. So I'm not going to say I support them for doing it. But they served an important purpose. And you know why? A little something got exposed. What do we see here? The Zaxxon account? And who? Sweetness. That account is over 2 years old. So he has a e-girl alt he has been using for over 2 years to deceive people. That is an insanely crazy thing. And if that doesn't prove to you, oh, all those alts were him, if that's not a solidifying piece that he's done this before, I don't know what is. At that point, you just don't want to believe what's right in front of you. And he's even types like him too. Like, it's fucking crazy. Also found out that Zaxxon's old YT app had his actual full fucking name in it. I'm not even gonna show it, but it did. And I looked at some of the messages and stuff that I'd seen in these comment sections and all this shit. So, a few things I found. He actually used God mode before against, these guys. What else? More of him shit talking and all that. By the way, his old name, he had a few other things like Alpha Bull, Suxia, or whatever. All this shit, bro. All of this shit. Him crying. Got killed and blamed it on him being on his phone and shit. And also the 1v1ing kids with no life. He did call me a no life, so I do somewhat apply to that. It's some funny ass shit. But yeah, it's just him crying. It's just him crying. Yeah, like, look at this shit. That's not, like, almost the same shit he said to me on the Lemon account. But let's look at these messages. This was one of his old accounts. Stop bully, please. Police involved. I am a big noob and I don't... Actually, this might not have been him. This might have just been a dude imitating him, but he does a damn good impression. But look at this. Because that's his main account. Do we see any similarities? Him saying that he was going to get the authorities involved, first of all. Saying he was reporting on rocks. That maybe it's some shit he would do. I didn't pay attention that much. You made me ill. Doesn't that sound familiar? I'm depressed. I'm sad. You cheating with frozen money. I want legal action. I blocked you. You follow me. It's an offense. This motherfucker. Like, it's not he's been depressed. Pretty much, if anybody calls this man out, his first reaction with the victim shit is to go straight into, I'm depressed, you're making me feel bad. So this motherfucker is mimicking and mocking all the actual people who go through real mental health struggles just so he makes these people feel bad. And not only that, he also likes to make also fearmonger at the same time. With saying he will take legal action. I mean, nobody's gonna believe it unless they're like a little kid. This motherfucker's been doing this shit for years. This isn't since last year. This is since like 2022, 2021. But we also have some other things that he was very happy about, just to talk about this. I'm talking about Cronus. And by the way, these are ex-LF22 people. Or he's ex LF22. These are the current ones. They do not like him. They just come here to fuck with him. And he says that Zaxxon has full access to his channel and account anytime. And he means Indian King's channel. So he literally just admitted that he runs his fucking channel. Very fucking interesting. And then him getting mad at them. Cronus. Born as hell. By the way, he acts like he doesn't dogfight or can't dogfight on that account. It's fucking Zaxxon. Of course he can. He's not great at it, but thinks people can get banned for using a Cronus. Yeah, not on GTA, bro. Comes in the chat, of course. Acts like he's not in his house. He's on the way to a family meal. Acts like he lurks all the time. And, I mean, no shit, because you're a stalker like fucker. Of course you're fucking around. You make shit seem so fucking smart. Let's keep going. Supposedly Indian King has a cross. I don't even know if it's true or not, but you know. And then they call him out on dipping when, you know, one of his accounts appears, the other disappears. Which, it's very true. He comes in on an account and then he dips. He leaves. Then he starts talking on both at the same time, you know. Pretty much just fucking with them, because they already understand it. They're just fucking with them. And then he actually says that with the, because he actually finally uploaded the video, the unlisted video of him playing with himself, in quotes, said that the party chat audio is him and the other guy. Which is funny, because it's been the same video. He did not change that shit at all. And, you know, I don't fuck with most of the pilot people, because they're just weird. I respect these fuckers for not backing down and just keep fucking with them. Keeping the legacy alive. And they say they're more obsessed than his ex-wife. Your ex-wife is not obsessed with you, bro. She wants to be as far away from you. It's actually probably the complete opposite. And then he gets mod, because, you know, now he can have double mod. He's recording a video at a family party. He's going to upload to his channel, and we're going to have all the weird people in his comments again. He acts like Indian King makes money. Indian King barely gets shit in donos, so I don't think that's true. Trying to act like he's bigger than Nitrix, bro. You are not known like that, bro. I'm gonna be dead honest. You are not known like that. And then it says that. This is what you're openly friends with, Zaxxon, if that's not you? With the openly friends with the booter? That definitely adds up, right? You don't like booting? Don't support it? Because, of course, previously to this, on Sunday, we were actually in a really good lobby, and his 750 account ended up getting in and getting kicked out. And people mysteriously started getting booted. And because here's the thing, he won't do it on his Zaxxon account because he's too afraid of it. But he got so curious, he went on his 750 account and tried it, which anybody that knows him knows that's his account. So, he has got to be the biggest dumbass in the world for thinking that was a good idea. And pretty much got caught booting, because no one else in that lobby was a booter. Just to make that clear. Bro acts like he has a girl. 3-year-old little. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. These dudes are fucking with them. Shit talking Nitrix again. Called Ender Games Ender Crafter. That dude's Skull of Death's like good friend. That's not Ender. And then I actually see this earlier today. This motherfucker is quote unquote taking legal action. And he has people's, and you might be like, does he have yours, Emperor? Well, I don't know. Why don't we ask the barcode with the Gypsy Crusader profile picture that may or may not have had some nice talks with Zaxxon on the Sweetness account? He, after saying he knows where I live, proceeded to, or his friend knows where I live, or some shit, proceeds to go on the Sweetness account, put up a community post saying, who knows where Emperor lives? My friend that knows, comment. I said I know on a alt. I switched it up. Even though I talked shit to him on that alt before. Barcode with the Gypsy Crusader profile picture. And he's going to know exactly what I'm talking about and exactly how fucked he is right now. And he asked for it. And I gave him a random place in New Jersey that was not where I live. So there's now a decent chance he's going to serve papers to a random ass town that does not have my ass in there at all. And also, if he says to multiple people, you can think of a few that he might have had the location from, But why does he have more than other people? Talking about Nitrix and Joker shit. So, stalking his friends, and nobody's stalking his friends. Unless he means the Indian King streams, and that's not hard to fuck with. People do that shit all the time. Being toxic like he hasn't done that back. Then ask for drama, but he keeps, Here's the thing, chat. One thing I've learned, if you don't want drama, you don't talk about it. Simple as that. Beefing over, and he says taking into people's personal lives, which, I mean, I guess it is your personal life when you're on GTA all day with Indian King. Or you're on all day on your Zaxxon account. For a dude that says GTA is so ass and made multiple community posts crying about GTA being ass. And that's where we ended off, chat. So what do we get from all of this? Because this is like an almost 3-hour fucking video. I don't even know how long this shit is. What do we get from this video? Well, we get a few things. Well, let's sum up what Zaxxon is. A booter? Doxer? Stalker? And I didn't even want to show and talk about some of the other shit that I saw with other people that he was stalking. And he was actually being weird to some other people, but I don't want to name them because they're not about drama and shit. So I will respectfully keep their names out of it. But stalking multiple women, by the way. And he talked shit about simps, and he was doing the same shit as a simp would. He's a degenerate. There's a sub-botter. He uses mental health for his own benefit in, imitating somebody that actually has issues. So, all I'm gonna say, Zaxxon, for, I would probably say your best option is to just, never talk again. And just probably never say anything to anyone again. Because you were cooked the first video, again, the second video, the third video, and frankly, you exposed yourself doing all of this shit on your actual main account now. So, I wonder how that's going to look to all the people that Zaxxon's so innocent and all that. Wonder how that's going to go over. And you did not win this at all. Clean sweep 4-0, and I'm not even moving on to the finals. I'm moving on to better, more important things than a guy who is so obsessed with everybody else that got him caught for who he is. And all you had to do was just apologize. Really. Past that and just accept that you did it. But the accountability isn't there. Your God complex was telling you, I could never do wrong. So why do I need to apologize? The victim mentality was trying to beg everybody who believed the truth to back right out of it. And that still did not work. You used mental health for multiple years to deter people from fucking with you. And, you know, fear-mongering with the legal action. So all I'm going to say, that might be great trying to take it. You already have a fucking FBI case on you. I'm not even going to describe who did that and what's in that. Because when they connect all your accounts to you, you will be meeting Bubba. And you will get married to him. And he's going to fuck the shit out of you. Your forehead is going to become a cum crust piece of bread. And that's just going to suck for you. So, please just don't come back. Don't say anything. Just, my advice would just to be quiet and stop talking. Just gonna say that. Because nobody's afraid of your tactics or antics or anything else you could pull at this point. Okay? And you can come pull out to actually, say this again. You can come pull up to Weymouth, whatever you even want to say it, New Jersey. Come visit. And, this is I'm praying the future, okay? I didn't want to add on to this video because it's already probably over 2 hours, and I don't like that. Still have to edit this, but there was a little bit more that happened after, including, if you remember, I guess wherever this ends off at, Jackson made a community post saying that, I'm not gonna pull up the right thing. Saying that he was gonna take legal action against people and shit. Pretty much what happened is the comments weren't really with him. Pretty much saying he's doing this shit all over GTA. And obviously, if you've seen this video up to this point, you know he likes to threaten that. And, you know. But he actually got, like, I'm not even gonna lie with y'all, he got flamed by a actual pilot guy, because obviously Zaxxon's not an LF22. There's still people that are, or that are like pilot people that don't fuck with him. And I just kind of want to read, well, I guess it'll be on the screen, but I just want to, like, I guess take the high parts of this, because I think this is like one of the most interesting ways I've seen somebody, like, look at this. Calling Zaxxon a middle-aged man with kids. Obviously plays GTA, which is, I mean, anybody who's played GTA knows it's pretty much the most toxic game. I actually wouldn't doubt that. It is really toxic at the core of the community. When, like, as a whole. At the core, yes. And obviously known for, yeah. Completely right about that. 2 out of 2. Lowers himself down to, you know, the typical level of shit that you will see everybody else do. Obviously, farming, you know, like, constant community posts about Rockstar's game being ass and all that. Dude's hitting 3 for 3. And, you know, obviously, I'm not. This isn't exactly about, you know, us, because Zaxxon's kind of referencing us in the community post, but obviously it's more there's a lot more, because we haven't done much recently. Like, we've already gotten what we needed out of him. But all those pilot people and shit, and then, you know, somehow he actually hasn't been doxxed, but pretty much what bro wants to do is just do all this shit and then, you know, act like nothing's gonna happen back then. Because remember, after that first video, he just went complete weirdo. He did. So, 4 for 4. Partial, we'll put 4 for effort. And then, I'm not gonna read the last shit because it's just long, but somebody like this is another, like, when people actually keep it real with people, they don't want to tell them the bullshit they want to hear. And they keep it real with them. However they respond, there's the two factors of it. There's either, you're not a yes man to me, fuck you, you know, whatever the fuck else you could say. Or, you're right. I should do better. And obviously, Kazakhstan hasn't been known for choosing the better, and if we go to the replies, it says he doesn't claim to be anything. You got, and by the way, he's nowhere near our realm of shit. I don't know if he's talking about the pilot people or his friends. I don't know if he meant your guys as the pilot people or, you know. I think it is, though, because bro's calling Indian King a content creator when Indian King doesn't make genuine content. Being dead honest, he kind of disgraces it. Like, I'm not gonna, the live streams, okay, fine. But I'll get to his shit that's been recently after the first recording in a second. And then, obviously, more of him saying this shit. Because all Zaxxon wants to do is just bait. I mean, trust me, he's probably made about 10 community posts where he could have just tried to bait me to say something, and I'm not going to say anything. I might even be hidden, I don't actually know, but I mean, like, you can do whatever you want, but you're not going to get in the head of an actual troll who understands both sides of the coin. Now, also some weird shit. He literally openly admitted to booting dudes on his stream. Now, obviously, if this quote-unquote is his accent, which we all know it is, okay? Like, if you doubt that Zaxxon, I don't know what you want me to say. But for a dude that doesn't like booting, and still try to stand by that, really, really dumb, because I know you don't stand by that. You just don't want to admit it. Then also, Indian King's thumbnail on that, he just literally did like a 36 or 40 hour stream. And you could tell this man is making these thumbnails. And he's changing the stream title, because where's the one that's like really interesting looking? I just want to read this shit again. Oh, fuck is it, bro? Did I not screenshot it? Just some really weird shit, man. For a dude that tries to act like he's not this person, like, you can just tell he's living on all the alter ego shit that he can on this account. And it's crazy that bro acts like, you know, that's not him when it's way too much shit adds up with